Yes, I would like to say, Mr. Fuller, I think it's great that you're clarifying that running over, leaving capitalism and running to socialism and communism isn't necessarily the answer for us black people.
Yes, I mentioned the words capitalism, communism, and socialism in the word guide. I also mentioned these words in the basic textbook, the revised expanded edition, and also in the original 1984 basic book. First of all, here again, we do ask questions. Yes. What is capitalism? What is communism? What is socialism? What does it mean by being social? And if you check the books, you will find these words used quite a bit, but it's mostly in the form of questions. When people start talking about, well, the solution is we got to get rid of this communism and have capitalism, or we got to get rid of capitalism and have communism, or we got to get rid of both of them and have socialism. Well, that calls for what? Questions. Many, many questions, starting with, what exactly is capitalism? What is it that makes a person a capitalist? How do you get to be a capitalist? You probably have about 10 or 12 dozen questions about just the definition of capitalism and communism and socialism. You want to get that straight first. What are the definitions? What's the definition? What's the difference between a person being a capitalist and a communist? I mean, if you have something in common with a person, and these questions I asked in the textbook, does that make you a communist? You sometimes say that, well, I go fishing with a buddy of mine, and we got a lot in common when it comes to fishing. And you say, oh, does that make you a communist? Well, you got a lot in common with somebody? A person might say, well, I got married last week, and I married a lady that when I talked to her, well, the reason I married her because we got a lot in common. Oh, well, I mean, you better get away from me. Hey, it looked like you might be a communist because you got something in common with somebody. All right? So what are we talking about here? I mean, do we ever really examine words? And I have these words in the textbook.
Yes.
And I raise these type of questions. These are the exact type of questions I ask.